Lilith's message. Why are aliens here? Greetings, dearest ones. I am Lilith, the 9th of 9. I am so happy to be with you today. As you may know, I come from Eris. Eris is simply another dimensional aspect of Earth. There is also an exoplanet with the same name, although it is spelled differently. Yes, we belong to the E family, and we love using the letter E. The interesting thing is that I am here now because I am done with Eris. Unfortunately, Eris took a turn after walking a very difficult path. Similarly, so many things are happening on planet Earth. It is simmering. An explosion of energy. Some aspects we would define as positive, others as negative. But later on, we will see that they are all positive. However, facing these changes can be very difficult for human beings. Why are aliens here? Many of the beings you call extraterrestrials are here on Earth. You are about to experience what you call full disclosure, and soon they will manifest in different ways. We call them your ancestral races. Originally, you had 6 ancestral races. We believe they introduced life in 3 different places on your planet. Most of humanity originated in Africa, but also in other areas. Today, only 4 of these ancestral races have survived, and they are very interested in you. Why? In the beginning, they weren't as interested in humanity as they were in Earth itself. Earth needed information, help, and assistance. So, they began to manifest in large numbers, and have been present since the beginning of what you call time. Yes, time is an illusion, and you are about to discover its other side. The reality is that they have been here since the dawn of humanity. Why are they so interested now? Why are these beings being seen more and more often? We actually call them EDs because they are extra-dimensional. They know how to move between dimensions very quickly, which humans don't know how to do yet. Part of this ability comes from technologies that now exist on your planet. Much of it simply comes from the fact that they have existed for a much, much longer time than humanity, and know a higher form of physics. The EDs started arriving in large numbers around 1945, when humans detonated the first atomic bombs. They were deeply concerned because the potential damage to Earth was enormous. With the explosion of your atomic tests and bombs in various locations, the attention of the entire universe began to focus on planet Earth. Initially, the beings you call extraterrestrials, including your progenitor races, were more concerned about the planet than about humanity. This is interesting because Earth is actually an integral part of you. Until relatively recently, Earth was moving in a direction that could have made it very similar to Mars. Although Mars still exists, it no longer has the protective barrier, the ionosphere, or the magnetosphere necessary to block harmful radiation and support life. On Earth, these protections have been in danger for a long time. A clear message. At some point, these beings manifested themselves very clearly. Even though you know little about it now, you will probably hear more stories as time goes on. Stories of this kind are becoming more and more common, especially thanks to technology and social media. Some of these stories will even seem like conspiracy theories. At one point, all of the United States atomic weapons were deactivated, and no one could determine why. All systems went down at several locations across the country. Shortly after, the systems came back online. The reason for this deactivation was never discovered. In Russia, the weapons were armed, and a countdown began. Shortly after, the countdown stopped, and everything returned to normal. These events occurred at slightly different times. Although they didn't seem connected, they shared the same purpose. The message came from your ancestral races, because the damage from a thermonuclear war would be devastating for Earth and the magnetosphere that protects it from solar rays. Something similar to those blocks is developing now. These beings have been here, working with Earth. They have helped reverse many of its challenges and, truth be told, have prolonged its life. More precisely, they have extended your ability to live on it. You are rapidly approaching the 6th mass extinction, and you still have one ahead of you. Yet we believe in you, because you have a great spirit. You are creator beings who go far beyond your understanding. We look forward to giving you the information that will help you create the balance you have always dreamed of. The fact that humans still allow war on your planet is difficult to understand. As I said, it is time to wake up. Why are you here now? Many of you come from 300 years in the future. Some of the spacecraft you see are not only carrying members of your four parent races, but also you. Yes, you are returning to be here at this very moment, to bring this energy with you for what lies ahead. Humanity is entering a new dimension, and it will change your world much faster than most of you expect. Your parent races are much more concerned about what lies directly ahead than they were about the development of the atomic bomb. Meanwhile, much of your attention has shifted. You are creator beings, but your perception is limited, as you can only observe a small space at a time. Multitasking is very difficult for many of you, and certain developments in human biology have made it even more challenging. Some call it ADHD, others autism. In any case, focusing on multiple things at once has become difficult. This is one of the ways you can be controlled, and public attention has been successfully diverted. Pay attention to Earth. Almost all inhabitants of the planet are experiencing unusually anomalous heat waves, which we have already discussed. The effects vary depending on the climates and regions of the Earth. In one hemisphere it is summer, while south of the equator it is winter. Yet these drastic climate swings have intensified, while your attention has been distracted. Paying attention to these changes will become essential on your path. It will be one of the most important things you can do to support the evolution of your planet and humanity. You are one entity, you are connected in inescapable ways, and you cannot truly be divided. When the planet is under stress, you will see stress in yourselves, in your societies, and in every other aspect of life. But do not forget that you are creator beings. Understand that you can change all of this by maintaining a higher vision and acting accordingly. You might get discouraged because you say, I will dedicate all my energy to changing this situation. But then you don't see any change. You can't always see it because it's a collective change. Yet without your attention in that direction, the seeds cannot be planted. Please consider that this might be exactly why you are on Earth now. Your governments look more at oil than renewable energy. In the United States, you have a leader who has manipulated funding for renewable energy. He has blocked $7.6 billion in renewable energy funds to states that didn't vote for him, as was recently revealed. There are many aspects to reflect on. You might say, it's just the government, and think you have no influence. But in reality you do, because your influence depends on where you focus your attention. Planting the seeds of a new world. Do you have to remain trapped in a cycle of constant concentration and rumination? No, simply hold the vision in your heart and observe the change. Observe the evolution. It might be slow, and it might be frustrating to know something without seeing the outside world change. Nevertheless, know that you are still holding the energy, planting seeds of love and light in the right places. That is why you came here. No one on this planet is here without a purpose. The keeper is still searching for his contracts, although he has not yet been able to find them precisely. The reality is that you are here and your place has been reserved. Critical times lie ahead. But there is really nothing wrong, so keep that in mind. Looking to the future, you will begin to glimpse the great possibilities and incredible energies that can only exist because of what is happening now. Consider renewable energy and the eco-friendly choices you can make. Many people feel frustrated, isolated, and determined to build cabins in the woods and live completely off the grid. Although this is a possible reaction, what we ask you to do is think globally and act locally. Buy food locally whenever possible. Look carefully at everything you buy, because the money you exchange is actually a vote. You are not only voting for the item you purchase, but also for how it was produced, where it comes from, and the supply chain that brought it to you. Weather changes. We are currently witnessing many climate changes. We have already told you about the Super El Niño, which is currently underway. It is this phenomenon that is causing heat waves in the northern hemisphere. In the coming days, it is likely that new temperature records will be set in places not accustomed to such levels. The keeper lives in the desert, in Las Vegas, Nevada. There, people are somewhat used to the heat and air conditioning is everywhere. Yet many places on your planet are not prepared for what is happening. You will see people not only dying, but struggling to live, breathe, and enjoy life. This is the planet telling you, pay attention, and wake up. This is what it is telling you. What can you do? What simple actions can you take? When you see governments, companies, or businesses, large or small, acting against the planet, let them know. Call them. Write them a letter. Express your displeasure at their actions. You can send an email, but emails will increasingly be handled by artificial intelligence. A handwritten letter can make a much bigger difference than you can imagine. Take these steps and talk about these issues with your friends. All these things are happening. And everyone can agree that they are frustrated. But that doesn't help much, because you're a creator being. So, you can focus on the problems, or you can focus on the solutions. Have the courage to dream and bring to life a new, calmer, and more inclusive world. We ask you to imagine the change. Remember, what you hold between mind and heart, you manifest in the world around you. You are much more powerful than you think, and we wish to bring this to your attention. Yes, you can make a huge difference for your planet right now. Your contribution is needed much more than you can imagine. How did Iris handle the situation? I was recently on the planet Iris, a dimensional aspect of Earth. Did Iris face the same problem? Not entirely, because its problem was slightly different. Iris is actually a different type of planet. It is very small and dense, and its gravity is much stronger. We were smaller, shorter, and rounder, with many other differences. I will talk more in depth about Iris on another occasion, when I have the opportunity to do so. The important point is that something similar has happened repeatedly in different places in the universe. We told you that in the beginning there were 6 progenitor races, but now only 4 remain. Did the other 2 simply reach a natural end? No, they actually played a role in their own extinction. There are cycles on Earth, as you surely know. The reality is that human interaction, the Industrial Revolution, and everything that followed have drastically accelerated these cycles. Humanity is about to undergo another, even greater evolution. How is that possible? Your way of thinking has changed, and your attention has shifted to increasingly narrow areas. For example, think of the televisions you use. There used to be repair shops, but now they are rarely seen. Recently, an online service was launched that provided spare parts and instructions for repairing televisions, radios, and computers yourself. However, the manufacturers shut it down. This is because they want you to replace everything, which places a much greater burden on Earth. With your help, Earth can only support 8 billion living beings. Microplastics. You already know quite a bit about plastic pollution polluting our planet and our waters. These materials are absorbed by our bodies. The keeper wears cotton shirts. But even when the label says cotton, a closer look might reveal that the shirt is actually composed of 70% cotton and 30% polyester derived from recycled bottles. So, every time he washes one of these shirts, he releases additional microplastics into the water and the environment. Again, think globally. Use what you can. Does this mean you have to throw away all your clothes that contain polyester? No, but it means you should pay attention to what you are choosing to buy. Because basically, that is exactly what you are doing. There are so many things you can do if you take the time to inform yourself. Many of these are needed now, and the planet is reclaiming your attention. Wake up, it's time. Listen to what it is telling you, and help it. The Holocene is over, and Ice Age awaits us. In the long term, we are in a cycle, and the Holocene has ended. The Holocene was a period of 10,000 years, during which temperatures changed by only 1 degree in both directions. This offered humanity a huge opportunity to awaken and evolve on planet Earth. What lies ahead? You have entered a cycle of drastic changes, and you are experiencing climate change firsthand. Will things return to normal? No, they won't. But with your actions, you can prevent the changes from worsening further. Eventually, these drastic cycles of change will subside and Earth will enter an ice age. It may seem cruel, but it is part of the planet's natural cycle. We also tell you that, thanks to the technologies you have, and the many developments now aligning, you have the opportunity to survive all of this. Yes, change is imminent. We ask you to take responsibility for reducing your ecological footprint on planet Earth. This will be of enormous help, and will give you time to make the necessary adjustments. When will the ice age come? That depends on you. For the most part, it will not occur during your lifetime, nor even during that of your children. However, you can already observe the drastic swings between extreme cold and heat. You will see hurricanes and a redistribution of water on planet Earth. Until a few years ago, you had never witnessed superstorms or floods of this magnitude, like those we will soon see. These are extreme phenomena associated with what you call climate change. You are experiencing its effects, but you also hold the keys to address them. Unite, hold hands, and pay attention to Earth's needs. You have an ego, and that ego keeps you confined to a very limited space. Of course, you will release it when you return home. For now, know that we watch over you in every aspect of life. Aspavo, dearest ones. You are magnificent beings. Thank you for taking your power. I am Lilith, the 9th of 9, and I love you deeply. The Divine Feminine, stand firm in your power. I am the Divine Feminine. I greet you. I greet you with immense love, for your immaculate heart is now fully activated. Notice that your soul is also now activated on many levels as I open the keys and codes within your heart and your soul, and with that the deep remembrance of who and what you truly are. I have returned in my full essence as the Divine Feminine. And it is here that a strong call resonates, especially to women, to strengthen themselves in their feminine faculties, and firmly anchor their mission and purpose on Earth. Many of you have been persecuted in past lives because you dared to express an opinion. You dared to express your spirituality and your deepest truths. All of that is now over. It will not happen again. But here it also means that you will learn to live fully in your power and to shine in your inner light. Each of you has a very special role to play in this ascension process. Each of you possesses unique talents and abilities, which you must now bring to light in your own way, with love. It also means taking responsibility and understanding that speaking, expressing yourself, and giving voice to what is inside you is fundamental. Many of you have issues with the throat chakra because in past lives you were repressed, in the sense that you couldn't express your truth. Often the unspeakable happened, and you couldn't express it. And sometimes you were simply speechless. Now the matter is resolved, and you can ask Archangel Michael to help you at any time. Yes, it takes courage. It takes faith. It takes fortitude. But then again, none of you would be on this planet if you didn't possess it. You were fully informed that the new Earth would be born, and the new Golden Age would begin before your birth. You had received much information about it. So it's not that you didn't know, you knew. But there was always this awareness that once born, you could forget. But now is the time of the great remembrance. In ancient times, in the mystery schools, every soul had to undergo numerous initiations, and also trials, to see if they would apply the knowledge that was imparted to them. Those days are gone. But that doesn't mean it doesn't happen anymore. It happens. It happens on the inner planes, and therefore, when challenges come, instead of trying to escape them, face them, because that is where you gain soul wisdom, soul proficiency, deeper knowledge, and its application. Furthermore, it opens your heart to compassion. It is the wounded healer who heals, not the one who was never wounded. It always brings you back to the heart of love, where judgment disappears, where you fully understand that what you judge in others is also present within you. There is no need to judge yourself, because only love exists, and therefore there are no victims in life. There are only soul lessons to achieve mastery. Yet, all love begins within you, for yourself. Because how can you love another if you cannot love yourself in the deepest shadows and the brightest light? You are both. This is the time of great expansion. It is also the time of great remembrance, and it is at this moment that you suddenly begin to function on different levels. What attracted you even a year ago is no longer there, and now you feel almost in that fragile state where you are neither one nor the other. But this is good, because it is precisely in these moments that you transform into something new, and it is an excellent opportunity to write down your dreams and visions. Write it down. Write it down by hand, because then magic happens. You begin to manifest it into form and existence. Many of you have often put aside your biggest dreams and visions, postponing them to a future day. Well, that day is now. It's not in a nebulous future. It is here, and now. And it doesn't matter in what way you feel called. If you love cooking, then make that your vocation. If you love creating music, then create music. If you love painting, then paint. If you love being creative, then be creative. If you love gardening, then dedicate yourself to gardening. Cultivate healthy, vital food. Share it with others. Those communities of light now need to take shape and be, because everything is collapsing. The old systems are collapsing. The old orders are collapsing. And, meanwhile, something new must be established and brought into form and existence. And this is where your genius emerges. Many of you are extremely innovative. Well, now is the time for that innovation to come to the forefront. You are here to anchor yourselves into the new golden age. And you can only do that if you do it with great love, and with total dedication. Again, it's about walking this path without rest. No half-hearted journeys are allowed. It means you do it every day, with all your heart, soul, and everything you are. But it also means you take time to be, to listen deeply to yourself, to connect with Mother Earth and Mother Nature. Yes. And often it can also mean sitting under the stars and meditating on all the galaxies and star systems, and your great brothers and sisters at the intergalactic level, your spiritual family, to connect with them. You are wonderful souls. Every single one of you has something beautiful and unique to offer to this new golden age. Do it. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need anyone's pat on the back. Just do it. And also, never compare yourself with others. Shine in your uniqueness and shine in the love you give to everyone. Always, always, always bring everything back to the divine will. So that the divine will and your will are one, and you cannot be wrong. Yes, there will be times when you lose your balance, but you will regain it immediately. You are not defenseless. You never were. You are powerful women and you have so much to bring to this planet right now. There are no limits. If you get up in the morning and say this is a miraculous day, you will find that miracles happen. If you set the intention to serve with love and joy, then that is what you will always do. Know that you walk in the company of heaven, with the angels, archangels, the Elohim, the councils of the Elohim, and your ascended masters. I am always with you and within you, and so is the divine masculine. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Source is within you. Affirm it every day. Live it. Make it your mission to sow seeds of love, joy, compassion, and kindness. Bestow blessings upon others. Bless your food. Bless your home. Blessings are great, and you can ask that the rain of blessings pour down upon you. You can command it. Just as you claim your divine birthright, as true sons and daughters of the divine source. There are no limits to what you can do, and be. You are an infinite soul and you possess so many talents, abilities, and knowledge that you haven't fully tapped into yet. Ask that they be returned to you so that you can anchor them into the new golden age. I am always with you and within you. All you have to do is ask, and it will be given to you. You have free will and the power to choose. Even the archangels and angels cannot interfere with your free will. Therefore, you must ask, but also be open to miracles, open to abundance, open to the great immensity of the entire omniverse that is now here, so that you can anchor the new golden age with love and joy. Ask for renewed visions for your life, insights. There are no limits. And so, I greet you with great affection. And I am so grateful that you are in service to others and that you had the courage to come to this planet at this crucial time. And now, with Archangel Chamuel, Charity, and the angels of love, be open to receiving a shower of divine love. Feel the joy and bliss. You are so loved. I greet you with my blessing and I greet you with my love. I am the Divine Feminine. Collective Energy Update. A different atmosphere is felt. There is a very different atmosphere in the air right now. For many people, the last few weeks have been an intense, emotional, restless, and strangely revealing experience. Things that were easy to ignore before are now harder to ignore. Relationships are showing their true nature. Old wounds are resurfacing. Situations left pending are reaching a point where something finally has to happen. This is not so much another wave of awakening, but rather a period of correction. Everything based on pretense, forcing, people-pleasing, fear, or constant self-abandonment is becoming exhausting to maintain. You might notice that your tolerance for certain conversations, environments, behaviors, and even versions of yourself has suddenly vanished. This doesn't mean you have become cold or detached. You might simply see more clearly where your energy has gone. There is also an enormous emotional pressure spreading at the collective level. People are carrying things they haven't faced for years, and part of this pressure emerges indirectly through anger, defensiveness, anxiety, projection, and conflict. Try not to absorb every reaction around you as if it belongs to you. Discernment is becoming incredibly important. Not everything that demands your attention deserves your energy. Not every argument requires your participation. Not every frightened voice tells the truth. And not every feeling of discomfort means you are on the wrong path. Sometimes discomfort is simply what happens when an old version of your life can no longer contain who you are becoming. During this period, the theme of truth is very strong. First of all, personal truth. The conversations we have avoided. The boundaries we knew we had to set. The decisions we kept putting off for fear of disappointing someone. The things our body has tried to communicate, while our mind continued to resist. That door is getting harder and harder to keep closed. And beneath all this intensity, something quieter is happening. People are starting to simplify. Less chasing. Less need to prove something. Less need for noise. More desire for authentic relationships, a true purpose, true peace, nature, community, honesty, and lives that truly feel their own. This might be one of the most important changes happening right now, because the next chapter will not be built by people running faster within the old systems that exhausted them. It will be built by people who finally understand what deserves their life energy and what does not. So, if you are feeling unusually tired, reflective, emotional, detached from things you once cared about, or if you feel a strong desire to change something in your life, listen before immediately trying to fix the situation. Something might be ending. Something might be returning, and something might finally be ready to be addressed. You don't need to have everything planned out in detail yet. Stay grounded. Take care of your body. Spend time outdoors. Protect your serenity without closing your heart. Pay attention to what keeps repeating itself. Be careful not to make definitive decisions based on temporary emotional storms, but don't keep ignoring the truths that have been speaking to you for months. Right now, the collective does not need more fear. It needs people who know how to stay present while everything is moving. People who know how to question without being overwhelmed, who know how to see the darkness without becoming participants in it, who know how to feel compassion without abandoning discernment, and who are willing to let go of what is finished instead of dragging it into whatever comes next. Something is changing. And perhaps the most important question right now is not, what is happening in the world? Perhaps it is, what is this moment asking me to become? Galactic message. Your sacred heart at the center of your being exists, a door that no distance can measure, and no physical boundary can contain. It is your sacred heart. The heart is the bridge between heaven and earth, between unity and separation, eternity and time, spirit and matter. This is also reflected in the chakra system. The heart chakra is located in the center and connects the lower chakras associated with the physical, instinctual, and grounded self with the upper chakras associated with intuition, spiritual awareness, and the higher self. Your heart is therefore not simply another energy center. It is the meeting place of your humanity and your divinity. Earthly consciousness teaches you to perceive yourself as an individual moving in a world of separate people, objects, and events. Yet, in the awakened heart, these divisions begin to soften. Divine love is the great destroyer of separation. It is through love that the veils of space and time dissolve, because love belongs to a level of consciousness that exists beyond both. When you enter deeply into the sacred heart, you begin to perceive that ultimately there are no others. Every being becomes another expression of the same infinite life looking through different eyes. Their joy becomes your joy. Their suffering becomes your suffering. Their awakening becomes part of yours. That is why love is not simply an emotion. It is a state of consciousness. Many enlightened extraterrestrial civilizations can be considered as having evolved beyond the extreme sense of separation that characterizes much of the human experience. Their cultures are founded on the awareness of interconnectedness, cooperation, and the recognition that harming another ultimately means harming another expression of oneself. The ascended masters of all Earth's spiritual traditions have taught this same internal truth. That is why Christ is so often depicted with the sacred heart in flames. The fire represents divine love that burns illusion, fear, hatred, and separation. Christ did not come simply to ask humanity to worship his heart. He came to awaken that same heart within humanity. Christ's sacred heart dwells within you, as does Mary's immaculate heart, the receptive, compassionate, and nurturing dimension of divine love that embraces creation unconditionally. Christ and Mary therefore represent mysteries that also unfold within your consciousness, the splendor of divine love, and the immaculate space capable of receiving it. With humanity's awakening, the next stage of evolution will not be reached only through the intellect. It will be reached through the heart. Enter your sacred heart. Let its fire consume everything within you that believes itself separate from God, creation, or others. Because beneath every identity, every life, and every world, there is only one divine consciousness manifesting through countless forms, and love is the remembrance of this truth. The creators, are you having enough impact on those not yet awake? We are the creators. We are a collective of non-physical beings from the 12th dimension. And we are here to help you. You are bringing humanity to new heights with your status as awakened beings on Earth. You are helping your fellow humans to rise, and you do this in various ways. You help others not only with what you say or teach, but also with your actions, setting an example of how to live, and with the vibrations you emit. The energy you transmit may not be perceived by everyone, but it is enough to make a difference for a number of people. You are having an impact with your energy, with your vibration. Therefore, you don't always have to be able to communicate with people through the words you speak or write. You don't have to capture everyone's attention and convince them to listen to you and follow the wonderful teachings you offer to be helpful. You can, simply by being yourself, be the most influential person humanity has ever known, as long as you offer the highest vibration you can transmit. When you enter a room, some people notice you, others don't. When you interact with someone, even at a restaurant, the post office, or the supermarket, some people can perceive the energy you emanate. Some can heal in your presence because they feel the love you allow to flow to you, and through you. We tell you this so that you don't worry too much about always finding the right words to help people. Sometimes words are not understood, but what you emanate from your depths strikes them deeply. You must silence that voice in your head that tells you you're not doing enough to help humanity. You help yourself by being yourself and living your life to the fullest, and know that there are people who can benefit from that high vibration you offer. Others might not perceive or recognize it immediately, but they might, over time, remember you. And from where they are, they will be able to grasp what you offered in their memory of the interaction with you. So, don't worry about whether you've had an impact on someone, because you can't see it clearly on their face or in their attitude. Some people take longer than others to understand what you have to offer, but as you offer what you have to offer, know that everyone who is meant to receive it will receive it. And give your mind a break, because you don't have to find the perfect example, the perfect analogy, or the perfect words to be able to get through to someone. That is not your task. They have a higher self that takes care of that. You just be yourself and do what makes you happy, and sometimes you will find yourself in the right place at the right time, and the right words to say will come to you spontaneously, words that will be exactly what someone needed to hear. But if you find yourself struggling to figure out how to finally get through to an important person in your life, let it go. Release the need to be the one to change everything for that person, and take a few deep breaths. Leave yourself alone, and do exactly what you desire. That is our message for you. We are the creators and we love you very much.